Dream Team? It's your boy D Neil back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with British inventions that changed the world. Before we jump into these world-changing inventions, hit that subscribe, ring notification, give a video a thumbs up.
So for this video, I wanted to make a video talking about the top British inventions that no one really realizes are British. I feel like America takes a lot of the glory in terms of inventions, and people don't realize how much Brits did, considering how impactful they were on the world, particularly in the Industrial Revolution and all that jazz. So I thought I'd make a video highlighting some of Britain's greatest achievements, and we'll go from there. So these are just some of the ones that I had no idea about. So you might already know these, they might be common knowledge, but coming from a foreigner, these were not common knowledge to me. Number one, I think, is absolutely no surprise to anyone who's been to England, but the thermo flask. So the flask that you put your tea in. Shocking. They love tea so much they found a way to travel with it, and so that's a British invention, which makes sense. It was invented in 1892 by James someone. I'm not going to be like a history lesson. All you need to know is it was a flask. So yeah, he literally was a scientist, and he just wanted to be able to take tea on picnics, which is the most British thing I've ever heard, and I love it. The next invention is the lawnmower, which everyone has.
Really?
Lawnmower was invented in 1827, and it was for the affluent to have good football and cricket pitches, which is surprising to no one. But then obviously it took off, and there you go. Which makes sense, because very British to think of a British garden with a very curated like hedge and like beautiful like flowers. Makes sense. Now,
so the British came up with the lawnmower. Yeah, I mean, a lawnmower is an absolutely great invention. I mean, so much land, so much grass that grows out of control. People want the yards looking good. They don't want people walk by their house saying that person doesn't keep up with their house. None of keep the yards mowed. So yeah, lawnmower, British. That's amazing. Okay.
This one, if I've got any Americans watching, will be a point of contention, I am sure. But I have my stats to back me up.
Okay.
The light bulb was invented by Thomas. No, it wasn't invented by Thomas Edison. I got you. It was invented by Joseph Swan in 1880.
He said, "I got you."
He beat.
Really?
He started manufacturing them in 1880. He had a patent, and at the time, the only real competition was gas lights, and these were much better for the people because there was no residue, no smoke, etc., no smell, and they took off, and they only lasted 12 hours. So I have no idea how much they would have cost, because that would have been. But yeah, little known fact, not Thomas Edison. That's a good.
Hey, how Thomas ended up getting the credit? How we taught that Thomas Edison invented the light bulb? If he ain't really invent the light bulb, it was already invented, and he just here to steal the credits. Come on now, Thomas. I'll tell all my high school teachers out there, not high school, to all my teachers through school out there. You lied to me. You lied to me. It really wasn't Thomas. That's why.
One for like trivia, you know, your pub trivia, and they say who invented the light bulb, and it's a trick question because really it's Joseph Swan. The next one, my personal favorite, is the chocolate bar. It was created in 1847 by
I think I know about this.
Before this point, it was only consumed as like a drink, and then they created a mixture where they mix it with sugar and made it more of a solid that would then melt in your mouth, and that was the chocolate bar, which is fascinating. So it was also created in Bristol. So my Bristolians claim to fame, chocolate. Get royalties.
We love my chocolate.
Something we've all had at some time in our life is soda water, which was invented by the Brits.
If y'all invented that, Brits, y'all, I just got to say y'all are hands down probably the greatest country, dog. Like, all you had to say was soda water. When I tell you, in my childhood, I consumed so much soda. We're talking about 6-7 cans a day. Dad would get so mad at me, dog, because I was just running through soda like there was no tomorrow. Then even when I went to college and I went to the cafeteria and you had the soda fountains, it's like I was in heaven. I even sit down before I poured 2 cups because I was like, I know I'm going to need more than 1 cup, so I don't want to have to get back up and refill this. I'm pouring 2 cups straight off the rip, straight off the jump, because like I'm a soda addict. It's so good. British, y'all changed my life. I'll say soda chain. I wrote a poem about Coca-Cola. I love it that much. Okay, y'all win. Y'all greatest invention ever. You guys win.
Specifically, Joseph Priestley in 1742, he created soda water. So he created the way to make soda water. However, Mr. Schwepp, whoever of Schweppes, I think we all know, ended up using that method to make soft drink, carbonated soft drink. And it was a bowl above some beer, and then that makes soda water. There you go. 1876, by Graham Bell, he invented the telephone, the traditional telephone, rather than, our traditional mobile phones have today. I don't know what you think about that. Another huge one, so I'm covering off like all of the massive inventions I'd say that have like transformed the 21st century. Is that like phones? We've got phones, light bulbs. We also have the television, which revolutionary, and I didn't know that. I honestly would have thought America invented the TV, but here we are. The TV was invented by John Bard, and it was in 1925. So somehow older, but also not as old as I thought, which is weird.
I swear to God, it's not as old as I thought it was. 1925. TVs have came a very long way in such a short amount of time. Shout out John, because TV is also a huge part of my life. Very huge.
There's a bit of contention over who actually invented the TV. However, Jonathan Bard did actually project an image using television type materials first. However, he didn't patent it or protect it in any way, so he couldn't really reap the rewards of his invention. So that's why there's so many different people who took that technology and then tweaked it and made it their own, and then there you go, sold off. Next one I think is interesting because of the reputation Brits have for having bad teeth, but did you know that Brits invented the toothbrush? Before he invented the toothbrush, people were getting salt and soot and putting it on a rag and then brushing their teeth like that, and he was like, I think I got a better way. And so in 1770 he invented a toothbrush, and I cannot thank him more for it.
That is actually a revolutionary invention, because I can't imagine life without a toothbrush, to be honest.
There's so many inventions for the UK have invented, so like hip replacement, sewage systems, all of like standard day-to-day stuff, but I'm here for the interesting ones, like the ones that you wouldn't think of. So, for example, the UK invented hovercrafts. It was by Christopher Cockwell.
Really?
And it was in 1953, and he just wanted to make his boat go faster, and then he ended up making it hover along the water. So
that's
Back
crazy.
to the Future has some thanks to give, I think, to Christopher.
That's wild.
The UK also invented ATMs, something we all use almost every day. It was invented in 1967 by Joseph Sharon Barron, is that it? Shepard Barron. And he invented ATMs because there was a machine installed outside of Barclays in 1967. However, because we didn't have credit cards yet, you would get a special check and you could insert it and put a pin in, and then it would give you £10 back. And then obviously it's taken off from there. But
yeah, ATMs make life a lot easier. I can't imagine not having ATMs and having to walk inside the bank and wait in lines every time you just needed to withdraw some cash. But ATMs, life easy.
I often think before then, because I think they actually, before they came widespread, they didn't come widespread, I think, in Australia until like maybe the 80s, maybe even later. Because my parents would often mention how when they were young, they would have to go to the bank during the week and get their money out for the weekend, and the banks were closed on weekend. So if you didn't have enough money for the weekend, too bad. And I was like, as someone
that's crazy.
Century, like, I've got 7 different ways I can pay for something, whether it's Apple Pay,
exactly,
credit cards, cash, a different credit card.
Exactly.
There's always some way to buy something now. So the idea that you could have just literally been stuck with no cash is wild. Would have made saving a lot easier because you just can't access your money. So it's like when you're eating healthy and you buy healthy food at the store, and then you get home and then you want to crave snacks, but there aren't any and you can't get any. That's how I feel with the money situation. Is that the weirdest analogy I've ever given? Probably. I've saved the best till last, and I think it's the most impactful thing that's ever happened to the history of mankind, and it's a British invention, so you guys can claim it all your own. It is the World Wide Web. It was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, and it was almost called Tim, like the internet was almost called Tim. It's like the World Wide Tim or something. So he, in 1991, the year I was born, good year, connected a bunch of computers together and created a server, and then created the first ever web page which explained how to set up a website and how to use it to search things. So without that, the entire world would be different.
Yeah.
And he
Facts.
gave away that invention for free. I don't think he's gotten any reward from it. He didn't pay anyone to use it. It was free domain, which is amazing. That would never happen now. Without him, you wouldn't be watching this video. You would.
He legit would have been the richest man on the history of the planet. The World Wide Web, richest man in the history of the planet, dog. Like, everything works through the World Wide Web. Everything. Yeah, without that, dog, I don't even know how we would function. We had to go back to the days before all that. Oh my God. Jesus. I would hate to think of life without the World Wide Web. Thankfully, I was born when I was born. I didn't have to live without it.
You wouldn't know who I am. It's wild how much that's changed. So those were just some of my favourite British inventions that I had no idea about. Some of them make complete sense, like the thermo flask and that, but things like the internet, I think people don't give enough credit to the UK for inventing. Because let's be honest, Brits don't like to blow their own trumpet, and they really should sometimes. You guys do have a lot to offer. You should be bragging more. America's getting all the brags in. But that's it for this video. I thought I'd just do a quick little fun one. Just something random. I fell down the internet again, down a random click hole. So here we are. Anyways, so if you enjoyed this video,
she said you guys should be bragging more. America's getting all the brags. America's taking all the credits. You guys have done so much for the gosh dang world, yet you're saying nothing. Nah, that's so awesome, dog. I mean, the web and soda are probably the two most important inventions in my life, with TV probably falling in my top 5. Y'all, thank God I was born when I was born, and shout out to the Brits. Y'all changed my life. That's all we got. Make sure y'all subscribe, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up. It's your boy D Neil. Out.